first try.
Technology at its best.
I'm getting better at this. The last two times I've tried to do this, we've had horrendous issues. So I'm just checking to make sure that it's going live in the group and that it must be because you're here. So I guess I don't have to check that anymore, right? Because I wouldn't have you here. Anyway, okay.
Sure. I saw it in the group, so that sounds good.
It's there. Awesome. Okay, so today we've talked a lot about the importance of platform as authors try and sell their books because obviously authors want to sell their books. So in order to do that, you have to have people to sell it to. And I love talking to Sasha. For people who don't know her, you should know her. Her name is Sasha Gray. She's of Scattered Sasha. And did you officially change your Facebook page to Scattered Sasha? Okay. So Sasha and I met almost 2 years ago now. Has it been that long? When my Lose the Cape co-author and I decided we wanted to put out, and can you hear me okay? I figure I should ask that. Okay, good. When we decided to put out a second book, and we wanted to an anthology of all the funny things that parents said they would never do, and then they had kids and reality set in and they did them. So Sasha happened, I knew nothing of Sasha. We actually were in the same blogging circles, but we hadn't met each other yet. We met when she submitted. She is a contributor to the book. And as I was doing some research on our contributors, I go out and I see her Facebook page and I'm like, okay, who is this woman really? Because she has over 100,000 Facebook fans. How do I not know who she is? How can she be a blogger in my sphere, have over 100,000? And anyway, I was blown away. So I started picking her brain, and she's over the past couple of years been so gracious as to give me tons and tons of free information. And she always shows up at my summits, and she always comes when I ask her. And she's just a wonderful woman. And I'm glad that our paths have crossed, more than crossed.
Yeah. Okay, I'm done. Whatever Alexa says, I mean, that's great. Thank you. You know,
So
I
that's
think they have been at the same conference but didn't know each other.
That's cool. That's quite possible. Although, if you're talking about Blog U, I think we went different years. You went one
You're
year, and
right.
I went next year. So, okay.
Never.
So obviously, if we are trying to sell books, and we've talked about this in the past about how for especially if you're trying to go traditional publisher and even with some of the smaller publishers, because the fact of the matter is it costs a lot of money to publish a book, whether it's you as the author fronting the cost to publish a book or whether it's the publisher taking on this risk for you, it is super expensive. So publishers need to know that you're going to be able to sell that book if they take you on as a client. So one of the first things someone, an agent or a publisher will find out about you is if you have a platform. Should not be new news to anybody. We've talked about that quite a bit, but often they will say if you don't have a platform, which a platform is anywhere that you have followers. So it could be on Facebook if that's where most of your people are. It could be Twitter. It could be Instagram. It could be a combination of the three. It could be your email list. But your platform is the number of people that you as an influencer can reach out to and try and sell your product, your book to. So Facebook just happens to be where a lot of the world is hanging out. Millions of people are hanging out. So it makes perfect sense to try and grow a platform there. And that is why we bring in Sasha, because she is an expert at this. So I'm going to stop talking now because you came to hear from her. And basically, from her and ladies and gentlemen, Sasha is getting ready to write her first book. So she is soon to be amongst us. Well, she already technically is an author because she is in our book, but she is soon to be amongst the author community. So I'm sure she'll be putting her own advice to practice here. So tell us and keep in mind, sorry, I said I was going to let you talk and then I just kept going and going and going. Keep in mind, a lot of the people that come into this group are either brand new to writing and publishing, have just published a book, are in that, but they may or may not even have a Facebook page. So let's start with why should you have a Facebook page and how do you get going with content that people are going to want to come for?
First of all, thank you. There are 2
Really shut up.
billion with a B people on Facebook. So absolutely, all the other platforms are great. And I've always said, pick a couple. I don't suggest that you try to get on every single platform. Find out where your audience is and pick a couple. One of them, in my humble opinion, because of that B word, 2 billion people, should always be Facebook. People are going there. It has become, excuse me, the new search engine. People come to Facebook first before they even go to a website, and they want to see if you have a Facebook page. So absolutely have a Facebook page. And this isn't one of the 5 tips I was going to tell you today, but I want to tell you, but this is a bonus. If you are just starting your Facebook page, or if you haven't started your Facebook page and you're trying to figure all that out, here's what you must do. This, I don't care if you take away anything else from what I say today, but this is a must when you start your Facebook page or you change it, because sometimes we change because there's a new book or we've changed direction or whatever. Okay, here's the thing. If you were to have a brick and mortar store, let's say you have a little shop somewhere and you signed the lease and you went in that first day and you said, oh, this is my space, and it looks like crap because you've just signed the lease and it's got dirt everywhere and there's no inventory and it's shelves and everything just are blank, would you invite all your friends over right then? Because if they all came over after you signed the lease, they'd say, well, there's really nothing here. Okay, this is letting me come over. So I see people do the very same thing when they have their Facebook page. They create a page off their personal profile. They find a nice sort of kind of graphic for their cover, and they invite all their friends, and their friends come over and go, okay, I like this. This is nice, but there's nothing there. And I see it all the time. So the very first thing you should do is create the Facebook page. Let me back up. You should create a name for the Facebook page. Now, yes, you can change it, but I spent 6 months trying to convince Facebook to change my Facebook page name. So with that in mind, kind of think through more than 38 seconds what you're going to name your Facebook page. Once you do that, create the page. You have to name it. You have to pick some categories. There's very few things you have to pick, and don't worry, you can change those later, but pick them and then immediately unpublish your page. What? You want me to unpublish my page? Yes, because I want you to fill it up with content, then republish it, and then invite all your friends and family. So think about it this way. You signed the lease on that brick and mortar store. You've closed the doors and you've curtained it off so nobody can see inside, and you fill the store with all the inventory and all the stuff and make the shelves all pretty and make the displays all nice, and then you have a grand opening.
I love that
So
advice.
then you republish the page. It's very simple. I'll pop a little graphic in here afterwards and show everybody. I mean, it's 2 clicks literally, but people are afraid to do that, and you don't have any likes on it yet, so it's no big deal. Facebook will ask you periodically, why are you unpublished? Are you looking for more content? Why, yes, Facebook, I am. And so you just click the button and say yes, and it's fine. They won't like punish you or anything. And once you get the content in there, republish and invite everyone, and there's stuff for them to see. You only get one chance. You can't invite someone twice unless they've unliked it. You can't go back and say, hey, come back, I've added stuff, because that, you know, doesn't work that way. So that's the biggest thing for those people who need a new or starting a new Facebook page. Or even if you're changing the direction of it, unpublish it for a little while, pop a bunch of stuff in there, and then go back and say, hey, I've refreshed the page, I've rebranded, come back and look at it.
Yeah, and I would imagine that that does wonders for engagement and how Facebook pushes your information, because now you've got people that are coming in droves and they're actually interacting and liking things and commenting. And now Facebook says, okay, this is a page people actually want to see.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Somebody just said they tried to change the page name. Is that right? Is that, I'm sorry. I'm sure I won't say her name right. Saniha, that you've tried to change the page name and Facebook said no. It took me 6 months, and the 5th try was the winner. I just kept going back. They kept denying it and gave me a reason, and I kept appealing. I would appeal immediately. And after, I think after 5 times, the 6th times, they just, one day I came in and I said, oh, look, my page name's been changed. So yeah, keep trying, keep appealing. They want to know answers, questions why. They will ask questions why you want to change it, and I finally was like, it's a rebrand. I'm changing my name, and they finally said yes. So keep on, keep trying.
Yo, so that totally blows my theory. My theory was that because you have so many followers, they didn't want to waste time and space broadcasting out that a page name had been changed because I just went in and changed my page and they let me do it. But I wonder if that was before they put in some kind of page name change thingy or something.
I don't think so. The reason they kept giving me was that it would confuse my audience because I was doing such a drastic change from lipstick, margaritas, and hairspray to scattered Sasha. Now I have a speaker page also, and that was Sasha Speaks, but there were two other people that had a similar name. So I decided to change it to Scattered Sasha Speaks, which
Uh-huh.
nobody else, and they changed that immediately. So I think because it was a larger audience, but I think because it was so different, I think
Ah,
with a similar name, they wouldn't have a problem. Well, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, they may deny whatever.
well, that makes
Uh,
sense.
yeah,
Okay.
but they do notify your fans, or I don't know if they notify all of them, but they do notify them that you've changed the page name, and they even went so far as to ask them of mine if it was confusing to them.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so to recap quickly, because there's been a couple of people that have just recently joined us. Sasha just gave us she's going to list through 5 tips. She gave us a bonus tip, which she said is her all-time most important thing. If you do nothing else, listen to this. She said, before you start it, when you set up your page, before you start inviting everybody to it, go in, set it up, unpublish it, fill it with content, then publish it, then invite everybody you know to like your page so that there's stuff there for them to see when they get there.
And I will drop a graphic to show you how it's super easy. And you
Perfect.
can unpublish, republish whatever you want to if you're doing something different. So, would you like 5 tips for your Facebook page?
We would love 5 tips.
The very one is Seymour, and you're like, I don't know who Seymour is. Who's Seymour? I'll tell you. How many of your audience, and I'm going to call them fans, and here's why. Quick backstory. When Facebook first started adding pages, they were for celebrities so that celebrities could have their private life and they could have fan pages. So Facebook still calls them fan pages, and I still call them fan pages too. It's not because I think I have fans. Because I might slip up and say fan page, you're like, who does she think she is? So anyway, the majority of your fans on your page are probably on mobile. 85% of mine are. Think about how you utilize and how you view Facebook yourself. The average is about 85%. Now, when you're posting this long stuff with your meme, because everything should have an image just about, you need to remember something. There's probably only 5 or 6 lines that are actually seen on a phone, on a mobile. So that little blue dot, dot, dot that says see more is what they see. Now, how many of them click that see more? Probably not a lot, because here's why. Everybody's in a hurry and everybody is scrolling. They're doing the scroll. You want thumb stopping content. That's a whole nother conversation. But when they click on see more, it makes them leave that page. God knows where they're going to go when they come back. They're never in the same place. You can't ever find out where you were. And they don't have time to see more. Okay. Nobody has time to see more usually. So, of course, you can still put the longer text on there. You can still put the blog post type things on there. But if you have something important to say, if you have a call to action, if you have something that you want to get big attention on, put it in the first 5 lines. Now you can put emojis there, and people are like, well, that's stupid. No, it's not. It is attention getting. Everybody has a lot of text. Slap some emojis on there. Put some of the flamenco dancers or whatever, because what you want is thumb stopping. Oh, that's cute. You want the thumb to stop. Okay. Very, very important. Hang on. Somebody just texted me. Sorry. So the first tip is 5 lines or so is how much you get. And they're shorter lines. They're not like lines on a laptop. Okay. They're shorter lines because they're on a phone. So post whatever you're going to post and look at it on your phone and say, oh, all they see is a bunch of lines because I've spaced down and said something like, whoo, check this out. They don't even know what it is. Go back and edit it and put the most important thing in the first 1 or 2 lines. Okay. So see more, 6 lines. That's like 1. That's not 2. 6 lines. Keep that in your mind. Next thing is to comment as your page on other pages. Now you
Yes.
can't
Amen.
as on a personal profile, but comment as your page on other pages. Because if you are sharing something on your page, you want that person to know you've done that for multiple reasons, okay? Because they don't know who Alexa is, maybe. I mean, they should, but maybe they don't, right? So if you're sharing something on your page and you typed as Alexa, just shared this on my page, you're like, yeah, great, thanks. But they don't know that you shared it on your Facebook fan page because you didn't tell them. And if you think an admin is going to take the time to stop and go click on your profile and hope, for the love of God, please tell me you have your listed of your Facebook pages on your profile. If you don't, that's another whole nother conversation anyway. And then they're going to have to find that page, and they're going to have to go to that page and find where you've posted something and then say, thanks. Ain't happening. Okay. Yep. So make sure you post as your page when you're sharing anything to your page, or chatting up, something. Oh, this is a great article. I absolutely love that, that kind of thing. How do you do that? When you go to somebody else's page to comment or to whatever, you see the little drop down beside your name and you have your choice of view or your pages. So that makes sense?
It does. Hi, Linda. Welcome. We are chatting with Sasha Gray, who I believe you know. But if not, she is a Facebook expert, and she's telling us how to grow our platforms by growing our audience and content that we need to get people to our page, to like our page, to grow our page, to sell more books.
Oh, so the first tip was see more. Make sure your call to action, or what you want really seen, is in the first 4 to 6 lines on mobile. Second one is comment as your page when you're going to other pages. Linda stalks me. It's like in a good way, right? Cool, Linda. I like a good stalker. Okay. The next one, your next tip is tabs. They are a changing, or if they're not, you can make them change. On the left side of your laptop, or on the little bar across the under your cover or whatever on mobile, there are tabs, and they are default tabs by Facebook. But you're thinking, I don't have any services. Why does that tab still sitting there and it's empty when people click on it? Because I don't got no services. I ain't got no services. So you're like, I need to get rid of that, but I would really like to add some of my own. You can do that. You can change. They can't get rid of all of them because Facebook says, oh, you got to keep these, but you can reorder them. Not like reorder them from Amazon, put them in different orders, and you can remove some of them or even add some of them. Like I removed the services tab because I didn't have any services. So you go to settings. I'll again drop the graphic on how to do that in the when we finish. You go to settings, edit page, and you have template and tabs. Now let's talk about templates real quick. This is like 3A. This is like bonus of 3. The template depends or drives what tabs show. So it was like, I need a shop tab. Well, if you are listed as whatever that doesn't have a shop tab, it's not going to be available. So you can also change your page template. If you want a shop tab, it needs to be the shop template, or some other choices too. I have a graphic that I can send you as well. I'm a very visual teacher.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So you can also reorder them. So if you want, because here's another tip, when people are glancing at things on their laptop, they don't see what's in the middle. They see the first and they see the last. So the most important thing should be at the top or at the bottom. And the most important thing should actually be at the bottom because that's where their eyes are driven. So if I wanted to put my shop tab at the bottom, or my reviews, or whatever you want, and you can change anytime you want, you can move them up or down so that they appear different locations on the tab thingy on your left. Does it help if I do this? The tab thingy on your left of your laptop, on your left, you can see where those tabs are, and you can move them up or down in order. So I'll drop that graphic there too.
And while we're speaking of tabs, I do want to say, and we'll put this in the comments too, because we are giving y'all so much stuff today, that there is an author Facebook app that can go in your tab. So once you have published your book, you can link it up to Amazon and you can post that little tab on your page, and it'll show links to your book on Amazon with buy links right there on your author page, on your Facebook page. So lots of good stuff.
That's awesome. And they are changing things every single day. I just talked with someone earlier this week. I guess it was last week because it's only Tuesday. But they had right in their Facebook page a scheduling app that linked to their Acuity calendar, which was really cool.
Yes, I've seen this too. And I want to figure out how they did that because I just saw this.
Yeah, I just saw it for the first time last week and I was like, That is so cool. So anyway, there's all kinds of apps out there to do that. When you go to the tabs page, I mean the tabs part in the template, you can add other tabs, which is really cool. Super cool. Okay, 3 down, 2 to go. The very best reach engagement driver that you can post is a combination of 3 things. From your mobile phone, has a face in it, and live posting. That does not mean that it has to be a live video, because people are like, oh my God, no live videos. It means it's not scheduled, because we all know we can schedule posts, and if you don't, that's a whole nother story. But from your mobile, include a face and make it a live post, not a scheduled post. That is what Facebook loves more than anything else in the world. So you think, well, what am I just going to take a picture of my face? Maybe. But what you could do is, okay, you have a book, right? You all have books. So here's your book, and you go, oh, look, my book's out. And that includes I just stabbed myself in the eye with my iPad, sorry. That includes your face. That is from a mobile, and that is from a live post, not a scheduled post. So those 3 things together. And Linda says they like iPad as much, anything that's mobile, and they consider an iPad mobile, except on these kinds of things here. You cannot go live and split screen on an iPad. Oh, I didn't read I couldn't see the question.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Tracy was just saying she's got to run, but she'll come back. So I said bye. I shouldn't have interrupted you.
Oh, no, that's fine. Somebody else had a question, but I can't see it anymore because it's wrong.
Let's see. Okay, so we have Linda's question. If Facebook likes iPad as much, then I put in, what do from your mobile with the face and live post have to do with each other? Listen to find out. And then Tracy has to run. So
gotcha.
And hi, Diana.
That's still fine to use your iPad, but I know that they favor cell phone or phones more, because you can't go live and split screen from iPads yet. It is coming. It is coming. And on iPad, on laptop soon. And actually they have said maybe next year for iPad, Snap, for laptops. So mobile phone, include a face, preferably your own or random strangers, and schedule it. Don't schedule it, post it live. So there you go. But yeah, look, my new book is in. Anything like that, if you sell what engagement driver too, if you put a call to action in there as well. You just get bonus for that. Okay, does that make sense? 4th, next, 5th one. Schedule, for the love of Timex, schedule an event. And you go, what you talking about, event? I don't have anything going on. Oh yes, you need to make sure that you have events for everything. Alexa's moving there. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to my sound. It just totally I can hear you, but just barely. So
okay, I can still hear you, and I'm assuming people can still hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can
I'm
still
just gonna lean way in so nobody think I'm a weirdo.
We're gonna
Maybe
look
I
at
should
Alexa's.
go. You know what? I'm gonna go grab my headphones. Everybody listen to Sasha. I'll be right back.
I'm getting some hearts, so I'm assuming y'all can still hear me, and we're still rolling right along. So let's talk about events. You're thinking, I don't have anything to talk about during these events. Oh, yes, you do. What you want to do is create an event for every little thing. If you're going live, create an event. If you have a book launch, create an event. If you have anything at all that's happening, create an event. Now, why on earth would you waste time creating an event? Let me tell you. With an event, it has a location for somebody to go to. And there's actually several components to this event thing, okay? You can post in the event, and everybody who has said they're interested or coming, they can see what you've posted in that event. You can share the event to your page, and you should every day. You can share the event to your personal page. You can share the event to your group. You can invite people that are your friends to the event. You can have other people invite people that they're friends to the event. You can private message people now to the event as well. So creating an event for everything is definitely what you should do. Here's another thing. Let's say you put just in your on your personal page, hey, I'm going to go live Tuesday at 4. Well, that gets buried underneath all those comments, right? And then you go back, and the next day you say, don't forget live, and they're going, what's she talking about? So you got to type all that stuff. right? But if you have an event, you simply share the event. They can click right there if they're interested or they're going, or they can share it. And then every time you put more things in there, those people are going to see it. Now, you can also, when you private message that event to somebody, say, hey, I think you would love this. We're going to have a whole lot of fun. Right inside that private messenger, does it help if I do this? Right inside that private message, they can click that they're going. And if they click that they're going, it sends them a reminder to their private messenger an hour before and 2 minutes before. Boom.
Nice.
Now, something else that has just happened last week, I believe. When you say that you're going live, wherever you say you're going live on your laptop, let's say you're in a group and you're going to go live like we were doing this here. If I clicked go live on my laptop using the Facebook app, facebook.com, it would say, well, where would you like to go live? And you go, oh, I have all these choices. So it's if you're an admin of a group, if you have a page, or in an event. Now that, my friends.
Yay!
Now here's the thing. Here's what happens. Just like this event, okay, you create an event and you say live on the Facebook page, right? Publish sale. Well, people come back to the event because they've been reminded, but I'm not there. They
Yes,
go, where?
exactly.
They go, where were you? I was at the event. Well, I was over on that other page that we referenced, okay?
Yes, yes,
but
yes.
how do you know that? So now they have added the ability to go live in the event, inside the event. So you drive people to the event with all your invitations. You drive people there with the personal invitations. You drive people there by posting and posting repeatedly to your Facebook page and your groups and your personal page and inviting everybody. And then right there in the event, you can go live. You could probably also share that live video to your page. I haven't tested that yet, but I'm just assuming you could certainly download it and share it.
Right.
That yet because I haven't tried it. But it is,
Yeah.
I love events.
Yeah, that reminds me of what was it? We were doing something in Carrie's group where everybody had the opportunity to go live, and everybody else. I went live in the event, and everybody else was going live on the main page, so nobody saw my video because everyone was back on the main page, and I was like, "This is so stupid. Why would Yeah."
Very confusing think about who your audience is. If they aren't online business people who don't use business pages, then they don't know where all these things are. We often make the mistake of assuming that everyone knows we do what we do and how we do it.
Right, exactly. Oh my gosh. Okay, so those are incredible, incredible tips. And for somebody who is, I mean, let's not be silly here. Like what she just told us sounds like simple things, but it is time consuming and it's a lot of effort. And I think one of the things that this is at least the 5th time that Sasha has told me all of these tips. She has 200 and some odd thousand fans and I do not. Because you can lead a horse to water, but unless you're willing to put in the time and do these things, and it is very time consuming. And I'm really excited to tell you guys about something that is brand new that Sasha is doing. So she offers this course. Don't disconnect right now because I know a lot of people are like, oh no, a pitch, and back out. No, you want to listen to this. Trust me. She normally teaches people how to do this stuff in steps, and I'm not reading the description, so I'm going to let her talk about the course in a second, but I just want to tell you what's going on here. She normally charges $47 for people to come into this course, which is way too cheap. She should be charging like $97 or $197, but it's normally $47. She's going to do this for my group, assuming we can get at least 10 people to join up. She's going to do it for $10 a person. I have not been through the course yet. You better believe I'm smacking down $10 to go through the course because it's so much stuff, and you're going to hand walk people through the steps, right?
Oh yes. Well, and
yeah.
What you get in the course, you want me to go ahead and tell that now?
Do it.
What you'll get in the course is, these aren't the tips that you'll get in the course. These are like bonus tips. What you get in the course is the number one way to grow your page. Proof from me. I have the proof laid out. Proof is in the pudding, and exactly what to post, why you should post what you post, when you should post, what it means to create these things I'm telling you to post. I mean, I am telling you the number one way to grow your page organically. And not only am I saying I'm not just going in and saying, here it is. I'm telling you how, I'm telling you why, and I'm telling you when and where.
Yes, and that is invaluable, and way people pay way more than $10 to figure out how to do this. So Linda, we are going to post, we have not determined exactly what day or time it's going to happen yet. We're going to post all of that stuff in here. When we're done, there will be a link to sign up and pay, and it will be conducted in a live Zoom room, correct me if I'm wrong here, and it will be recorded. So if you can't be there live at that time frame, we will send you the recording and you can watch it. And I say this just because I know how Sasha is. I'm sure if you pay and you can't make it live and you have a question and you reach out to her, she will answer your questions.
Yes. Now on the live, of course, I'll do question and answers right then. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I've never said, no, I'm not answering your question.
Right, you're gonna be there live, too bad. But seriously, this is a great thing. She really, I mean, like I told you, when I first found her, and I don't think it's been even 2 years yet, it's been just about a year and a half ago when I found her, and she had like I think you just hit 100,000 fans. It was like 105 or something like that, and within the last year and a half she's more than doubled that. I don't know about you, but I know very few social media influencers that have over 100,000 fans in our sphere. I mean, of course, you have super, yeah, people that are celebrities. Sasha is a celebrity in my book, but um, but she knows what she's doing. She knows how to teach you how to do it. It is going to be up to you to implement it, but she's going to show you exactly how to do it, and you will not regret the $10 by any means. So while we're here, does anybody have any questions on what she has covered in her bonus tips? And y'all, just imagine if those were bonus tips that she gave away for free, what the actual paid content looks like. I had a question. So I'm an admin on a couple of different pages, and I've found myself a couple of times accidentally, or not accidentally, I go in when the person who owns the page posts, that I go in to respond to their comment, and I accidentally post as them, but I've lost the carrot to drop down and change it to me. It doesn't show up anymore. Do you know anything about this?
I don't. Now, I know they have recently changed it and added the word admin or moderator or something like that to each person's name, so that when you're in a group, people know that you're an admin now, which I don't know if
Oh,
that's
that's
good
cool.
or not. I think they know who to reach out to then. But you should have the little drop down arrow. Now,
On PC I do. On my phone I don't. And it's been pretty funny because a couple times the author will post like a new picture or something, and I'm like, "Oh, you look so pretty," and it posts as them.
yes, that is a glitch, because you're absolutely right. You can't change it on phone right this minute. And it's been a glitch for probably a month now, which is too long. They need to fix that.
Yeah.
And when I'm posting in my group, I can only post as my page, not as me. So I don't, as an admin, I mean, as the owner of the group, I don't have that chance either. So I have to assume that it's a glitch, and they've not, I mean, they are rolling out things every single day. And I just hope that this is working on.
Absolutely. Okay, well, we are going to schedule the event, post the link to pay for it. We have to have 10 people to run this. And that's just really an appreciation of Sasha's time and for bringing it down to such an affordable cost. So we will post all that information. It will probably be sometime, well, wait a minute. You leave for your conference, so very soon.
It won't be this week. Maybe
yes,
next week.
It will not be this week. So more than likely sometime next week. By the way, if you're not part of the Beam Women's Conference page, I'm going to post the link to that in here too. You should totally join Renee and Sasha for all their fantastic business information. But yes, we will make sure that everybody gets the information. We will, sorry, I can't type and talk at the same time. Get everything you need to know. Do you have any closing thoughts or information for us?
I would just say that, yes, it is time consuming to do these things, but once you put them in place, they kind of roll on. You know, once you realize that 6 lines is really what I need to focus on, you'll just start doing that. Once you say, I'm going to set up an event, you can duplicate events, and it can just be the same stuff, changing a couple of other things here and there, and it becomes easier. So once you start, it's like a habit. Once you start those things, it will be easier, and I think you'll see a real difference, especially the mobile phone face live thing.
Yeah, well, even this, just being able to go live with somebody else in your group is so, I mean, it's such a cool benefit not having to use another tool. And then, Facebook never shows anything that's not one of their own
You get
products or links. So,
much better. Mhm.
yeah. So, number one takeaway, I'm curious if anybody is still on here that can remember exactly what it was that Sasha said that you must do if you do nothing else.
Ooh, it's a test. I love a test.
Pop quiz. Okay, well, everybody's pretending like they're not here anymore, so nobody's going to answer that. And if you came on late, that's okay. We'll forgive you. Okay, so then I will ask the other question then. What was the one thing that she said that would bring the most engagement? Anyone remember that?
Amy says, "Tell me, please,
Okay,
tell
I'll
me."
tell Amy the first thing because I just saw her join us. Okay, so the number one thing you have to do if you're making changes to your page or starting a new page is, well, particularly with starting a new page, but making any like rebranding or anything like that, you want to start your page, create your page, you want to unpublish it, fill all your content on, or not all of your content, but enough so that when you invite people to come, it's there, and then publish it and invite everyone you know to come to your page to build engagement, to have make sure they have content out there. There you go, Abigail. That's right. And then the second thing, since no one has piped in on that one, is to, as often as possible, post a picture from a mobile device, a picture with a person, so like you holding your book, and if some of you are scared of putting your face in there, then I don't know, do something creative. There's ways to post, right? Exactly. You could be the neighbor from oh, what was that show? Tool Time, right? Post a picture with a person from that's live, so from a mobile device, and that gets the most. I almost said Google juice, Facebook juice, in
You can
terms
get.
of, yeah, exactly.
And I had a question. Let me read. I'm rebranding. Show me what pages running away. Good question, Linda. You really have to first to decide about your audience. Is it really a different one, or could they become one for both things? Could they, maybe you don't underestimate your audience, could they like both things? And maybe you just rename the page and let them all know and say, hey, this is changing because I'm doing something else. But if it is totally a different audience and you want to post different things, meaning maybe one's comedy and maybe one's horror, you wouldn't want to necessarily post the horror things on the comedy page. So I get that. So maybe if that's the split in the genre, maybe yes, you do create a new page. However, may I suggest you create a page as your author name and you put all your books under that.
I agree too. Even if they're completely different, you should have at least one page. Also, for anybody who just, oh, sorry, one page that combines everything in. For anybody who just joined us, we are offering a very, very special. She's offering us the course that she sells at $47 to do for $10 for our group, $10 a person. And we'll do it live in a Zoom room where you can ask her ask her questions live during the thing. It will be recorded, so if you can't make it, we will make sure that you get the recording. And this is normally a $47 course. She's going to give it to us for $10 just for the members in this group. You're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff beyond the tips that she gave us today, walking through, holding our hands, stepping us through the process to make sure that we know exactly what to do, what she has done to grow her Facebook page. And we know it's obviously worked to the tune of over 200,000 fans, 222 or something like that now. Who's counting anymore?
250.
250. Jeez. Don't need to shorten that. Okay. We'll put the links to all of that stuff in there. I'm going to let Sasha run because she's been on here for, wow, girl, we know how to talk. We were going to go for 15 minutes. 45 minutes later. What was that?
I've never spoken for just 15 minutes.
No, who does? So, okay, thanks everybody for tuning in, and stay tuned for more information on the live course, and have a great day. Thank you, Sasha.
Bye.
Bye.